living the dream. I've already had a few sales, which is amazing and more than I could ever ask for. The live is a little bit late. Technical difficulties. I think that, you know, if you work yourself up and you like get nervous about something, which I was definitely nervous before getting on here. Oh, I have 2 visitors. Yay. I think it like the energy messes with electronics. I don't know if you guys think that, but I definitely think that. And so, so I think there was some interference with my nerves and the live stream. But here we are, finally. I am going to stay on until noon because I want to make sure I get hyped with you guys. I'm so bummed I had the turmoil with the electronics, but here we are. We're finally here. We're doing it. Let me show you right now. I can't pull it up on my screen, but I can show you this. Where did it go? Oh my gosh, more technical difficulties. Nope, we're not going to live that life. We're going to just do our thing. And we're going to go here, and we're going to go here. Here we go. Look at active carts. Active carts. Can you see that? I have 1 active cart. And I wish you could see the, I have 2 visitors right now. And it's really exciting. Total orders. I have 4 total orders already. Guys, I'm so stoked. So, let's go through the book. I was on live on my phone, and that just was not doing it. It wasn't working because I couldn't see comments. So if you were live, come back and be live again with me. I'd appreciate it. And thank you for your patience. So let's start from the beginning. Ground zero. This is the yearly reflection and goal setting workbook. This is exactly what is on pre-order right now. Ooh, look at. And I have a goal, we have a goal as a community to sell 130 of these to unlock the monthly momentum planners. The planners are already created, at least for the first quarter. I'll be working on, you know, after this live or after this launch, I'll be working on doing, okay, hold on, let me see. I'll be working on editing the rest of the year. I already have October, and October is so cute. It is so cute. Each month has a little theme to it as we went through, but alas, we're trying to unlock these January, February, and March. We'll be ready for pre-order too once we hit that funded goal. The reason for the funded goal is because each book has its own minimum order quantity that the printer requires in order to do the mass print. So I didn't want to like spread it too thin and have a little bit for each thing and not have enough orders for each one to actually get each one printed, if that makes any sense. So we're doing the minimum order quantity first of the flagship product, the goal setting yearly reflection and goal setting workbook. And let's dive in. I did not do the flip through video yet. As soon as I get off live, I will be. Let's go page by page. I'll see if I can junior high, or what is it, elementary school, flip through the pages with you. So that's the gorgeous, these are called ends pages. There's some in the back too. And they're just for decoration, and they're to make your book have its theme, right? This is this book belongs to, so if you were to misplace it, leave it at a coffee shop while you're working at it or anything like that, then they would know how to return it to you because there's lots of personal information in here. The title page. I know you guys are like, okay, get to the point. We're getting there. We're enjoying this process. I have a whole hour with you guys. So here we go. This is the dedication page. You can read that dedication. I read it on my last live and started to cry. So here is the introduction artwork. There's artwork at the beginning of each and every chapter. And then there's there's like little doodles throughout the chapters and stuff, and specific color themes. There's a color theme for each chapter. We have the benefits of the yearly reflection and goal setting, and a fun little QR code. There's little QR codes throughout the book. Wait, over here. There's little QR codes throughout the book that are meant to, they're meant to help encourage you. They're resources. Some of them are songs. Some of them are like meditations and stuff to help you with mindset. Anyway, and then we go into, they're really fun. I really think you're going to love the QR codes. And then we're going to go into the overview and how to use the workbook. See the little doodles? Wait, there we go. Do you see these little doodles? These are what are on the ends pages. So, wait, there you go. See? That's where those come from, because each one represents a chapter in the book. Plus, goodness, I mean, come on. Okay, so, chapter 1, reflecting on the past year. The reason we do that is because you have to know where you're at to know where you're going. You need to know what seems to have been kind of where your focus was. And is that where your focus, where you wanted it to be? Is it, do you have other areas of your life that are kind of put on the back burner and you want to bring more attention to those? That's why we do the reflection, so that we can get a really good grasp, a really good like where we're at with life, right? Sorry, got distracted. The self-assessment then is chapter 2, and that dives deeper into the life categories. How do you feel like you're doing in each life category? That the life categories are in the same order in every chapter of the book, and you'll start to see patterns with them. You'll start to see, oh, I'm doing really great in my finance section, but I'm kind of not doing so great in my like family section, or my relationships have been struggling, but there's always, it's really hard to be really good in all areas of life. And so in the self-reflection or the self-assessment, you're going to figure out, what are you excelling in? What areas are you struggling in? What areas do you want to put more attention on, and how to do that? Then you have your vision for the future. What do you want to see happen in the next 1 to 3 years, 1 to 5 years? What do you want to see happen in your life? And then you focus on what needs to happen this year. So that's where the following chapter comes in. You visualize, you map out your whole year, your whole next 5 years, and then you bring it back to setting SMART goals for the year that's coming up. What do you want to accomplish in that year? The SMART goals, if you don't know, I'm forgetting who does the SMART goals off the top of my head, but he created that system so that you can make sure that your goals are attainable, that they're realistic, that they're time bound, so that you're getting them done in a certain amount of time, i.e. the year, or even you can set like smaller goals, which we do. I lead you through how to take your big goal that you want to accomplish this by the end of the year. 2026 is when you'd want to accomplish that by. How do you break it down into smaller pieces so you have step-by-step process? You can measure. The M stands for measure, so you can measure your progress along the way. That is why we put in SMART goals. We take your most recent, your ones that are coming up right now, and break it down so that you have your pathway. You have your step-by-step. You know exactly what you're going to be doing. Productivity strategies is the next one. So after you've realized that your SMART goals are taken care of, let me go through. My brain is combobbled from all this technical difficulty, so I can tell you exactly what SMART goals are, but I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to tell you verbatim. Okay, because they're in your planner. So you take your 3 most important goals for the month, and you do this in your planners too, which is another reason, so that yearly reflection goal setting workbook is like your system. It lays everything out, how you need to do it, and this is the system. This is the system. Okay, so SMART. S is specific. Goals that are stated that everybody can understand what's to be done and who will be doing it. Measurable goals include a way to measure, like we talked about, so that you know when you're actually accomplishing it and when you're not. When you're on track, when you're falling off track, when things are getting behind course. So important for goal setting, right? Like that is how we get stuff done. You can't just willy-nilly and throw spaghetti at a wall and, you know, expect your biggest dreams to come true. You have to be specific. You have to have milestones that you're measuring, right? Okay, A from SMART is achievable. Make sure they're realistic and can be achieved giving all the resources that you have. And the last one is time-bound, that the goal has a realistic deadline. So important, so important. So I have the system is in the planners for you, and then I have that laid out. We do some of that in the workbook. The next chapter is productivity strategies. It's where we implement your time management techniques to make sure that the time bound from the SMART goals is accurate. It helps you to overcome when you're feeling like you're procrastinating, like all of us do. I don't know about you, but I do sometimes procrastinate, and almost every single time that I'm procrastinating, it's because I'm unclear of what my next step is, and so it feels overwhelming. So if I'm procrastinating, it's because I have a big goal or a big step of the goal, and I'm looking at it as a whole, and I'm like, holy cow, I don't even know where to start taking bites out of this. So I haven't then broken it down sufficiently enough, and then I procrastinate. I'm like, okay, you've seen those memes where they're like, oh, I have a million things to do, but instead I'm going to lay on the couch. It's your paralysis by too much to do on your plate, right? So you get paralyzed. So that's where I teach you how to manage your time, how to get unstuck, the processes that I've used to be able to break it down further and recognize when you're procrastinating because you're either overwhelmed or it's a piece of the project that you just aren't jazzed about. So there's a little bit of that in there, like how do you get through the procrastination even if it's something that you're not crazy excited about, because that's important. You're not going to love every step in your process to succeed. That's just facts. So you've got to accept that, and you've got to, you know, pump yourself up. And I pump you up in here. So get it done. Eat the frog. You'll see that in there. Brian Tracy. Eat the frog first. So something that's bothering you or something that seems like the thing that you don't want to do for one reason or another, do that first. Do that first. Get it out of the way, and then the rest of the day just feels, or the rest of the whatever you're doing feels better. I have 4 visitors on my site right now, guys. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't even. Oh, and I got another sale. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. So one person is checking out. Oh my gosh. I might cry. I'm a crier, guys. Ask my son. He'll tell you. I'm a freaking crier. I have water. I have my coffee that says all things possible. Mark 10:27. Isn't that cute? Don't mind the coffee on it. Your girl was a little bit drinking coffee all over the place. Again, it only took me 40 freaking minutes to get signed in with you. So, thanks for being here. Thank you for your patience. So there's all that. Let me see. I'm going to try and keep my phone open so we can get the notification settings. Let me go to settings. How do I do that? Display. And then maybe it's not display. Maybe it's Lock screen. Always on display. I don't know. Show unlock. I'm not super tech savvy. If you guys haven't figured that out from me being late to this live, but I make it by. And if one of your goals is to write a book and you're worried because you're not tech savvy, if I can do it, you can definitely do it, because you just work through it. You figure out, you don't let, not everything has to be perfect. I was late today and it about gave me a heart attack, but then come to realize I have 5 visitors on my site right now. Come to realize it's okay. It's gonna be just fine. You just have to roll with it. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna try and keep this alive without my screen turning off. Where were we? Okay, productivity. How do you say that? Productivity. I say productivity. Strategies was what we were just talking about. How to get stuff done, even if you're not tech savvy, even if things aren't going according to plan, you keep going. That's the biggest piece of advice I can ever give you, is even if, this is so exciting to watch, I wish you guys could see this, even if everything is going astray, it's okay. Just keep going. I wonder, can I show you my other screen? I do not know if I can. Settings, stream. Nope, that's not what I want. Viewer. Nope. Okay, I guess we'll just go back here. Dashboard. Hi! Yay! Good morning. Hi, Mom. Hi, Candace. I'm finally seeing the little comments here. Hi, Mama Deb. Hi, Brianna. Guys, it's been a minute. Okay, I'm seeing comments. I'm feeling better about this whole thing. So we were just talking about, I don't know when you joined. Looks like you've been here for a minute. I'm just talking away. So productivity strategies. Now we're talking about developing positive habits, because again, that's part of being able to get a lot of stuff done at one time, is having habits. You only have a certain bandwidth. There's 3 people on my site right now. That you only have a certain bandwidth of ability to make decisions every day. But if you build in habits that take that decision making out of it, it's just something you do, like working out. You just do it, and you do it so often, it's a habit, and then it becomes something that you don't have to decide to work out. You don't have to decide what to wear to work out. You just do it. It's something that is done, and that opens up such more bandwidth to put into focusing on your goals, right? So you want to build habits that support your goals. If you're, I don't know, if you're drinking every day, but you're trying to run a marathon, your body's not going to be healthy enough. That's a poor metaphor, but you get the point, right? So you want to build habits that support the life that you're trying to create over here. And I teach you how to do that. And then enhancing personal well-being. If there's no you, there's no freaking point. You have to take care of yourself first. First, not after everybody else, not when everybody goes to bed and you've got like 2 seconds to yourself. First, you have to. Because if there's no you, there's no anything else. Like nobody else's priorities is going to matter if you're not there to be the supporting person in your life that you want to be. You want to be there for your kids. You want to be there for your spouse. You want to be there for your family and friends and business and work and blah, the list goes on. And you can't show up if you're not showing up for yourself and giving yourself the time and respect and attention and love and TLC that you need first. So we deep dive into that. There's a little mental health quiz in there. I'll show you. Let me just show you now, because I'm pretty proud of it. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so it's like on the light end of stuff. But I do give you suggestions of what to do if your self is struggling, or what to do, on the rating. Let me see. Self-care isn't selfish, it's survival. I said it in my book, folks. You heard it here first. So here's the little quiz, right? Mental and emotional health assessment. Okay, isn't that so cute? I mean, look at the color theme for this. But besides the aesthetics, we're talking real stuff. So you go through a quiz. It's a couple pages long. Thank you, Brianna. And you kind of answer, and then you just put your total on the side, and then you add them up. Super easy, like you would do. Remember the quizzes? Did you guys ever do like the magazines back in the day? I know you guys, some of you on here are my age. Candace, you and Lorraine, I know you guys did the quizzes in the magazines. It's kind of like that. And then it gives you like your mental and emotional steps. It's like your health pep talk. So it tells you if you're between, or sorry, it gives you the like scoring ranges and suggested actions. See that? And then it tells you if you're between 20 to 40, you have significant room for improvement and you need to consider getting professional guidance. If you're between 41 to 60, moderate well-being, identify areas needing improvement, and take steps to address them. And then it tells you what to do. Like in that range, gives you some ideas so that you're not, yeah, you did. I know you took those quizzes. Candace, I know. Okay, so then it tells you kind of what to do. So let's take, for example, like 61 to 80. Good overall health, continuing maintaining and enhancing your well-being. So then we go to that section, and it says continue practicing regular mindfulness or meditation exercises and healthy eating. Try new relaxation techniques, set personal development goals. It kind of breaks it down for you of what you can do if you fall into that range, this side over here. I don't know why that's throwing me off, but it kind of tells you what to do. Super proud of that section, by the way. And there's other quizzes throughout. I think there's a quiz in 3 or 4 of the chapters, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. I do not have my book memorized. I wrote it, I edited it, every single word. But it doesn't mean that I have it memorized word for word. So, but there are a few quizzes in there, which is super, super fun. So after you go into enhancing your personal well-being, because you're first, then we do how to review and adjust your goals. So that is equally as important because you can set all the goals in the world and you can take little steps, but life happens. Life and more life gets thrown at you. So we really want to make sure that you take the time to review your goals. You adjust them as you're going along. And I show you how to do that. I set up like the system of what works best for me of how to review. And again, what I talk about in the workbook is already laid out. So you don't have to like put it in your calendar. Oh yeah, review my month, review my week. And you don't have to figure out how to do that. Like, well, how do I do a review? It's already in here for you, which is awesome, which is why we need to unlock, we have to unlock these, here we go. We have to unlock the planners because it is the system that I talk about in the workbook. Okay, here's coloring page, so cute. Here's the weekly review. So this is what you do at the end of each week when you're really on top of it. Don't beat yourself up if you're, miss a week or whatever. It's not about being like so strict where you can't move around. It's about having the system available to you so that you can stay as on track as possible. So each week you'll have a weekly review and then you set up your week. So here's the weekly setup. Map out your week. That's the calendar. And then, of course, if you're super like on it and just doing all the things, you have your SMART goal for the week, the top 3. And then if you're feeling stuck, these are also in the yearly reflection and goal setting workbook. Everything I talk about in here is exactly what's in the planners so that it'll get laid out. I explained it all. You get a taste of it. Like you actually do your yearly reflection in here This is the place where you do that and where you set your goals. And this is how you continue to track them and stay on track so that you hit your goals, right? This is setting it up. This is getting it done. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I brought it back. Okay, so then after we talk about how to review and adjust your goals, because you're gonna have to, that's just part of it. You can't, shoot for the moon and not make sure all your nuts and bolts are done on the rocket ship. I got metaphors for days, okay? So then then that's the end of it. Then that's the conclusion. So you set up the system, you reflect, which is why the first chapter is the biggest chapter, because that's the whole purpose. My hair's looking weird. But the whole purpose of the book is to make sure that you figure out where you're at, and then you plan. Where are you going? And then how do you keep getting there? So thank you, Mama Jean. Yes. And so you can go to, Brianna just asked, how do I buy this system? You go to www.themonthlymomentum.com. Let me see if I can put it in here. Let me know if you can click on this. You can copy and paste if it doesn't become a link. Oh, it did. Yay. Okay, so that's where you can click on that link, Brianna, and then you'll see. So again, launch day is today only. So the pricing that you see in there is for today only. The workbook for a single workbook is $36, and then starting tomorrow it goes to $45. And then if you buy more than one, so you have to get at least 3 or more, then it goes down to $31.50 per. This is like the sales pitch part of it, right? It is what it is. We're trying to get there, folks. But so if you have people that you want to get Christmas gifts for, you have people that just you want to have a couple on hand because you're the type of person that when you see somebody who needs your help, you like to help them with something, that's perfect. Or if you want to give them for, like, I don't know what all your guys' careers are, but if you want to give them for employee gifts, family gifts, just however, the bulk is the way to go because that's the most discount that I'm ever going to put on these. I'm not going to say ever, but that's the most discount that we'll have during this pre-order is if you get 3 or more workbooks today only. And then there's still discounts for tomorrow. I guess so tomorrow we go to the regular pre-order sales, and you could still buy bulk there. There is also the ability to get wholesale. So if you have a company or you know a company and they want to get, the wholesale pricing is 10 or more though. And that's for the workbook or for the planners. So that's an option too. If you have an employer and you're like, I want these for Christmas at our business, tell them, send them this, send them the link, and be like, she does wholesale. Anyway, let's look at some pretty stuff. And if you have more questions, just reach out. You can Facebook message me. There's a contact me on the website. I have the website over here, and then I have a live view over here, which is really exciting. There's 5 people on my site right now, guys. That's so exciting. 1 person is checking out. I wish you could see what I see over here. I'll try and figure it out to share my screen over there. I wonder, let me see if I could do it. Let me see. They should give you the option to switch your screen. Event logs? But alas, I probably wouldn't know. They probably do, and I just don't know how to do it. So let's keep flipping through. So this is everything we just went through right here. It's the contents page. And then chapter 1, I know we went through it kind of already. If you're on my phone, you've seen this part already, so thanks for still hanging in there. I wonder, which light is that? Is that this light? It's this one. Let me turn that so that you can see. That's better. That's kind of better. Anyway, so, and each one has like these really pretty, the sections are sectioned out. They have their color theme kind of header there, which is super fun. And then you have special sections with the color theme over here, you can see. And then you, again, these pages are super thick, so they're not going to bleed through when you're writing in pen. I'll do the full flip through video where it's like official and looks better than this. But each page takes you on a journey. Again, chapter 1 is the most important for the workbook, so that's why it's so long. But I really feel, look, like some of the pages are like this. That's not going to take you very long at all. Unless you're a writer like me and you're wordy like me, might take you a little bit longer. But that's what we're here. If you are, you like that stuff, so you're going to spend time on it. Each end of the chapter kind of pep talks you on doing a good job, depending on what the chapter is, and then introduces the next chapter, which is super awesome. Let me see. Okay, and then this is the self. Tell me that's not beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. And the quote on this one is, self-awareness involves deep personal honesty. Facts. It comes from asking and answering hard questions. Facts. That's Stephen R. Covey. We have to ask ourselves hard questions. We have to. Because if we don't, and if we're not, you can ask yourself hard questions and then not be honest with yourself, but that's not going to do you any good. You have to take accountability for the answers that you're going to be giving yourself and be honest with yourself, right? So then we go through chapter 2, self-assessment. Again, here's one of the quizzes. So this chapter is going to fly by. It's really fast and fun, if I might add. Goes through, finish the quiz, very short quiz, gives you like the rating for the quiz and a couple of reflection answers. And then you go through answering a few more questions. There's another section, right? This is a workbook. It's, you answer a lot of questions in it. That's the end of chapter 2. So very short section for notes, so that you can write down the things that you noticed, things that you wanted to be aware of and keep top of mind. And then the end of the chapter, nice little bold page there. And then we go into chapter 3, vision for the future. I love this artwork. I'm so proud of it, guys. Wait, there we go. This one is, I think I said this in the last one too. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Awesome, awesome author. I've read so many of his books. One of his books I've given to multiple people because I found it super life-changing, and actually I might read it again. It's just one of those things that make you feel, remind you that you're connected at all times. Living an intentional life, I think is what it's called. I'll see if I can't like tag it. I might have it right behind me. Anyway, so he's the quote that I used for this chapter, and it's, if you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. Vision for the future. So you want to build a certain life. You want your life to look like a certain way. You want to achieve certain things. You have to build the habits. You have to make sure that those things are at the forefront of your priorities. You have to make time for those things that you want to have in your life. And a lot of times, I know I've been in phases in my life where I just get into, thank you, Mama Deb, thank you, Candace, but I get into these moments where I'm like, just kind of lost in like the routine. And if you know me, I'm like a super creative person. I love to to have multiple projects going at one time. So either I'm like this hot mess tornado where there's so many things and like people are like, what are you doing? And I know what I'm doing because I can see what I'm doing like in the tornado, right? I'm in the eye of the storm creating it. But then I have these other times where I'm just in the routine of my everyday. I'm not on the path to achieving anything that I'm trying to achieve. I'm just kind of settling. I'm just kind of, taking life as it's being handed to me. And there is a time and a place for that. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you're just dealing with life because life is dealing you a hand right now, there is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But if you want to get out of that, like, just reaction phase, then there's a way to do that too. So, and I lead you through that. You first have to, it starts with visualizing. How do you want your life to live? How do you want to experience things? What things do you want to come into your world? What do you want your world to look like? You get to paint that picture. And that's not a lie. You get to paint the picture of what you want your life to look like. I'm going to do some YouTubes. If you don't know, I started a YouTube channel for the monthly Momentum 2. And I'm going to be sitting down and kind of doing deep dives on talks like this, where I kind of take what's in my head and break it down further, of motivating you to create a life that inspires you and that you actually want to live instead of living a life that's just handed to you. I'm a firm believer in that. I definitely believe that you are co-creating with God, right? Firmly believe that. And so I want to kind of inspire people to do that. I feel like I'm called to bring some conversation to that. So that's what I'll do. Anyway, going back to the book. I kind of start to ask some harder questions in here. You want to paint a picture, paint your life to be what you want it, not necessarily what other people expect of you. There's a big difference between living a life that you want to live and living a life that somebody else told you you should because of whatever, your circumstances, your whatever. Like, nobody gets to tell you what to do. Nobody puts baby in a corner, okay? You're the boss. So we go through some more questions. We go through each kind of life category that I was speaking about, which let me count really quick. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 9 life categories in here. And that's echoed throughout the entire book. It's very consistent. Each chapter, you're going to be touching base on each life category so you can be well-rounded as you move into your new year. Okay, I wish my phone would stay on. Okay. So then, more questions. Mapping out your first 1 to 5 year plan. Of course, we're gonna map it out, and of course it's gonna change. So I suggest getting one of these books every year. We'll talk about that later. I know you guys are like, I'm just warming up to the idea now. But every year you want to do a reflection, right? So, and this is going to change. But mapping out your first 1 to 5 year plan is like, you kind of have an aim. You kind of know where you're going. You have a good idea of what you want to be doing. And again, goes through the life categories. So it talks about career goals, family, relationship, business, all of those things. Home and personal environment, community and social impact, spiritual health, or spiritual and personal beliefs. So very well-rounded, if I do say so myself. And then you write yourself a mission statement. What is your mission statement for the year, right? I walk you through what is a mission statement and how to do it and why you would want to. So crafting a personal mission statement, I'll just read this because it's short. Let's get clear on what drives you. What's your purpose? What are the values that steer your decisions and actions? Take a moment to craft a mission statement that reflects your aspirations and core beliefs. A simple, powerful statement that sums up what matters most to you. So important. And this is what you can come back to at, each month, what was my mission statement? Oh yeah, that's why I'm doing it. This is your why. I know you've heard that, right? Like, what's your why? Hey, Rebecca, you're back on. Thank you. What's your why? This kind of walks you through it. Here are some prompts to spark your thinking and help you create a mission statement that feels authentic and true to you. Again, that's another theme. What's authentic and true to you? Because it's so important that you're building a life for you. You're the only one living it. I know you're the main character in your life. There's supporting actors, yes. Do you need to consider their input? Sure, to an extent, but you're the main character. Write your story, right? So, this is you writing your story. This is your why. This is like, what if you had a movie that was all about you, like, and then they do the trailers, what would be said in your trailer? Like, she was an ambitious individual coming this October, Don't judge my movie voice. Yeah, coming this October. Anna was an author and a single mom. She was all over the place. You get the idea, right? It's gonna be fun. You had to ruin patience. No worries. Thanks for hopping back on. I appreciate it. I had to restart the live because it was just I couldn't see anything on my phone. So thanks for being over there too. But man, I couldn't do it. So I'm glad I finally got this to work. Anyway, so we wrap that chapter up. Then we go into SMART goals, right? SMART goals. Isn't it just beautiful? I mean, come on. And this one's quote says, "Move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you're willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new." Can I get an amen? Because it's so true. That's Brian Tracy, by the way. You can only expand if your world is only this big and you're trying to build a world that's this big. It's only gonna expand to the depth of which you're willing to be uncomfortable. Oh yeah, so I put the link above in the comments, Rebecca. So it's themonthlymomentum.com, and the website is open and live. So you can scroll up, or I can put it in the comments again. Let me know. But if you're trying to build a big world, it's going to take a lot of discomfort, and it's going to take a lot of what people would call failing. But I don't think it's failing. I think it's you're building something, you're building something that takes new things, You've never built a world that looks like that before, so you're going to have to try new things. You're going to have to trip over your own feet. You're going to have to figure out what works and what doesn't, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and you're not going to be good at it at first. If you ever tried a new sport, like pickleball, for instance, Candace? But I'd never done pickleball, and then when I was in Arizona, I tried it, and I was horrible at it, but it was so much fun, and amen. And so anytime you're trying something new and you're building something bigger for yourself, it has growing pains. Every single thing. Yep, okay, I'll re-put it in there. themonthlymomentum.com. Hopefully that turns into a link. Let me see if that opens. Okay, it went there. So let me know if that works for you or not. So setting SMART goals, expanding our worlds in a way that makes magic happen. Right? You brainstorm. What are all the things you want to do? And you'll know from the previous chapters. So this is kind of like a brain dump, letting it all out on paper. And there's, and then this is fun. So then you organize it by, you color the band here for the life category. And then you can highlight whatever you write on here. You can highlight that in that color. So it's color coordinated. I don't know if you're a nerd like me like that, but then you can kind of get a grasp at, oh, I see a lot of orange, which is my relationships and family, but I'm not seeing a lot of purple, which is leisure and recreation. What do I need to focus more on? How can I get more well-rounded, right? So it's a visual exercise for you to kind of see what your world looks like, right? So fun, so fun. And then we do, so brainstorming, it talks about the brainstorming here. And then you talk about how to prioritize the goals. How do we, there we go. Wait, ugh, I'm so bad at this, like, different thing. How you prioritize goals. What does that look like? So Eating the Frog from Bragg and Tracy. And there's another quote here, and then another little QR code. And that QR code goes to, I'll tell you right now. Oh, it goes to my website. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. So, and then there's QR codes throughout this whole process. Woohoo! I have 3 visitors on my site right now, guys. I wish I could show you the actual map. Let me see. Do. Let me see if I can find the map. Live view. 4 visitors. Ugh, it's not going to show me. Dang it. Did the website work for you, Rebecca? Okay. I wish I could show you like the actual, anyway. I gotta get better at this live stuff. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Moving on, again, we're going back to the, we're in the setting SMART goals, and I break it down for you. So, you kind of have your regular, like tells you which life category you're on, tells you the goals from your brainstorming page for that life category, you put them back in here, and then you get to prioritize them. In what order do you think that those need to go? And then it has you pick the top 3, order of importance, so you just messily put it in here, then you organize it again, and then your top goal to focus on for that life category. You break it down into a SMART goal, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And you do that for each, and then we do the details. Yep, there we go. That's awesome. So then you do the details. Yep, perfect. Your steps, sorry, I'm just reading it. So then you have your details for that life category, and then you go to the next life category. And you just continue on. Relationships and family, SMART breakdown details, career and professional, personal growth and development, financial security and stability, leisure and recreation, home and personal environment, community and social impact, spiritual and personal beliefs. And then you build your timeline. So you build your timeline for the year. You put your major milestones in here for January, February, March, and it goes on. What do you, like, this is how you measure. Are you hitting these goals by these deadlines, right? Pretty open, pretty gorgeous. And you do that for the whole year. And this is what will transfer into, say, in January. You'll transfer that, what you wrote, those milestones, into your planner right here. So what you wrote there is going to go here. What are you trying to accomplish? And then you can break it down into actionable steps more. So say you wanted to, like, go on 5 hikes for each month. Which hikes are you going to do? You know what I mean? Break it down. Break it down. Break it down now. I had my Alexa playing some music in the background that you guys couldn't hear, but I could hear, and it stopped playing. So I got to make my own music. So then we go on to productivity strategies, like I said. This is a fun, where is it? This is a fun QR code. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to wait till you get your book. Which again, if you go to the monthlymomentum.com, the website's live. It's going to be live until we fund. And so pre-order will be going. I'm hoping to have everything funded. I mean, the sooner the better, because then I can get the print production started sooner. But overall, I think I'm going to end it. Well, we'll keep going until we're funded. But I need to place the mass order by June 7th, I believe, in order for them to arrive by mid-October. And we want it by mid-October. I mean, I could push it a little bit further. But if you know anybody who would love these books, please share this with them. Please, like, share this on your socials. You don't have to share the live, but share the website. Share the website with them. Share the workbook, like the pictures of the workbook. Share whatever you want to. But I would really appreciate if we could help get the word out so that we can make it happen. Okay, so time management priorities. I go through a couple of different systems with you from the experts, like the time management matrix. Thank you! I just made a sale. Every time you hear that, it means that there's a sale. Hold on. That's why I want to put, oh wait, here. Oh, I made lots of sales. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yay! Okay, so how do I, nope, I definitely want to keep the notifications on, but I need to make my screen stay on without phone. Advanced features, lock screen, home screen. Edit lock screen. Sorry, this part is boring. I'll cut this out when I repost it, but I want to try and make, do you guys know? Put it in the comments. You just ordered, Rebecca. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I don't know how to make my screen stay on longer. KK. I don't know. Okay, I'll just keep opening it, I guess. I should have thought about this beforehand. But, let me do this. Anyway, so we go through the time management matrix, and, hold on, I'm so sorry. We talk about, time management and prioritization. We go through the time management matrix from Covey, and Stephen Covey, by the way. And then we do quadrants, like we learn how to break down our time, how to figure out what's most important, and how to, because we don't want to always just be in reactive mode, right? We want to make sure that we're going through and being. So, I might only have 5 minutes left, but I don't know. Thank you. And of course my internet's going slow. Can you see me? My internet's probably being slow. Okay, it's being quicker now. Okay, so we go through And we talk about David Allen's Getting Things Done, so which is another time management. His book is amazing. If you guys haven't read it, Getting Things Done, it's pretty intense. He's got a very specific structure of how to do things, and he lays it out really well. But I kind of just took the bits and pieces that I set the frame. Okay, I took the bits and pieces that I learned from his book and what worked best for me, and I broke it down in this section for you. So this is kind of the graph of how to get things done. Are you there? Okay. It kept interrupting me. This is the graph of how to get things done. And it looks confusing, but when you see it in person, you just follow the little arrows, and it's really, like, pretty straightforward. This way, that way. There we go. Anyway, and I designed that based off of another one I saw. Then we figure out how to overcome procrastination. What is it? What's the root cause? How do we deal with it, like we talked about earlier? How do you build accountability? Adapting a growth mindset, feeling stuck, how do you get unstuck, and the summary to stay motivated. Super straightforward. Then, developing positive habits. Look at how beautiful that is. I don't know how to make it, sorry. I'm not good at showing it. But we go through and we figure out how the power of habits, creating habit trackers, which I do have habit trackers in the planners for you. You're welcome to create some more of your own. There's some dot grid pages that you can create some for yourself if you're kind of like a creative person. The monthly planner. This is where I introduced the planner, and this is the benefits of the planner. So if you were curious, when you get your book, it's going to go through every step of it with you, what it entails. There's weekly tracking, daily, monthly reviews, obviously tracker pages. It's fun, and then, goes through that and how it will help you succeed, because I want you to get a good idea of what's in there. Building a routine for success, morning and evening routines, your morning and evening routine, tracker, yep, incorporating exercise and nutrition, just a little blurb on that, fitness tracker. I said, again, because this is in your planners as well, a thing to keep note of is if that triggers you in a negative way, don't do it. Just in the planner, you can pull it out. You wouldn't want to in this book, but you could in this book. But if it triggers you, don't let it get to you. I put it in there because it is important to me, and it is something that I like to track, and I know that there's a lot of other people that like to track their fitness as well, to make sure that it's a life category, right? Your health and fitness. It's your health. You got to take care of you. So if it triggers you, don't worry about it. Just flip past that page. There's plenty of other things in here, such as mood tracking. This gives you a scale of 1 to 10 where you'd put it. That's also in the planners, but black and white. Your daily, weekly, and monthly rituals. This is how to do it. Because you want to make certain things just a habit, so you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. It's just something that's already being done. Enhancing personal well-being, which I love that artwork. And the quote there is, the most important element for a happy life is a sense of inner calm and well-being. That's from Gretchen Wilson, I believe her name is. I have to edit it because the little quote got cut off, but in yours it won't be. It'll be how it should be. And then I said, and a sense of humor doesn't hurt either, because it's true. And then again, here's another quiz. So what is that, 3 quizzes so far? That's the one I showed you earlier, so we don't have to go into it. Mindfulness and meditation techniques, aka prayer, if you're a believer. stress management strategies. So I don't know if you guys know this. Actually, probably a lot of my own people don't know this, but I got a certification in stress management in college. And it was tremendously helpful. It's been tremendously helpful to me in multiple different areas. So I kind of have a little leg, like a little tiny stubble leg. This is my strong arm to stand on. And when it comes to stress management, and like even today when I was late, like by 40 minutes because I couldn't figure it out. Was I stressed? Yes. Did I let that like curl me up into a ball and give up? No, because we can't do that. So how do you manage stress? How do you find balance in your daily life? All important things. Work-life balance that works for you. Workaholics, raise your hands. You need that. Creating boundaries. Anybody here in the room need to create boundaries or learn how to? I did. I definitely did. Learn how to hold those boundaries. It's a good life lesson. When you can figure that out without being a jerk to other people, or without being a doormat, one side or the other of the pendulum, right? You're on it. You're doing good in life if you can learn how to appropriately hold boundaries in a healthy way. Prioritizing self-care. Also, who needs a reminder of how to do that and how to prioritize it? And then, look, fun. Self-care bingo. Play that, please. And when you get bingo, shoot me a message. I want to see it. Reviewing and adjusting goals. We're on to the last chapter. So do you see, this is going to go actually really fast for you when you get the workbook and you actually get into it. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's easy and it's fun. It's really fun. I feel like I did a good job setting it up in a way that's interactive, that's not boring. You're not reading for 10,000 hours. You're reading a little bit, you're doing a little bit. Reading a little bit, doing a little bit. And it's about, I almost cussed. It's freaking beautiful. It's beautiful. So, annual review process. So this is where you're at. This is the whole reason for the workbook, is to do an annual review. So at the end of each year, you'll do this. You'll get a workbook. You'll do the work. How do you do your monthly and quarterly reviews? They are already built into the system. At the end of each quarter, so March has a monthly review as well as a quarterly review, because March is the end of the first quarter of the year. So it's already in there. So that's what I talk about. This is the how-to and the review and goal setting, right? Review, goal setting, and how-to. This is the get it done. The system that, bye, bub. Bub. I don't know why I called you Bub. Bye, I love you. Have a good day, Candace. Yay. I can't wait either, honestly. And you got a lot of goals you need to meet, so I know you'll benefit from this. But so this is the review and the goal setting. This is the system I talk about and teach in the rest of the book, right? So I say this is what you need to do, and then I give you the tools to do it. Your personal KPIs, I show you what I mean to give you a good example of like what are KPIs? What do I need to do? How do I do it? And then this is how you measure your own progress. This is how you do your review and how you check yourself, right? Am I doing what I said I'd do? Am I doing the things that need to get done to get where I want to go? This is how we do it. Adapting and adjusting, because life needs adapting. If you're not adaptable, man, it's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be really, really hard. Celebrating. This is a huge milestone for me. I don't know about you guys, but this is a huge milestone for me where I just launched. I've put all the work into writing. We're live. You guys are live with me. My website's live. I'm getting orders. This is huge. Am I going to celebrate today? You're dang right. After I get off of live, I'm probably going to go maybe take a nap because I haven't slept in like 4 days. But then after that, me and my son are going to have steak for dinner because that sounds amazing. And I might even have a little glass of wine because I deserve it. Celebrate your milestones, people. I remind you to do that. There we go. I don't know why this is so hard for me, but you're getting it. Celebrate your milestones because they're important. And if you're not celebrating the little wins along the way, then you're going to get halfway to your destination and be like, what am I doing? What am I doing this for anyway? You know what I mean? And then you reflect on your progress and growth. That's so important. You'll laugh at one of the quotes on that page. You'll laugh. And that's it, folks. That's the conclusion of the book. So I walk you through the conclusion. I summarize the key learnings. What did we learn in the book? What are the next steps? So what do you do next? After, because you don't want to do all this planning and then not take the next step, right? And then some more quotes that are inspiring. And then we have some additional resources. So, which one is it? This one. Gorgeous. So then there's websites that you can use that I talk about, some of the tools that you can use that I talk about, like Trello, MeisterTask, Slack, my planners. So some more resources there for you. I have a glossary of like terms. They're pretty straightforward, but it's nice to like just have those. It's nothing hard. Yeah, it's nothing hard in the glossary. And then the invitation to join all of the socials. So there's Instagram, Facebook, my blog. If you don't know, I have a blog. It's called Plan by Blog, where a lot of the reason I wrote the book is because I don't really remember which came first, the blog or the book idea, but they go hand in hand. So in my New Year articles, I talk about how to do the process, and then I tell you about the book and everything, and then how to pay it forward. So yeah, and then of course that's it. That's all she wrote, folks. Meet the author. That's me as a little wee tot up in the corner, all carefree, not a care in the world, and then me and Maddox at the bottom. When we were in Bali in that photo, and we were having the time of our life. We were living a life that we were designing intentionally. And that is the whole book. You guys saw pretty much page for page. Thank you for supporting. I have 2 visitors on my site right now. It's fluctuated between, I think the most I've had is like 5 people on at once, which is so exciting. I have made 6 orders. Guys, I'm so stoked. 6 orders. Look, I wonder if you can, I don't know if you, I can't really, there's nothing really to see here. But I can't thank you enough for being here and being a part of this journey. I feel like I've talked enough. I knew I would be able to fill an hour with my yapping, chapping my yums. There's an inside joke to that. I was trying to say flapping your gums once to my son. And I was all, why are you chapping your yums? And it's just become like how we say a lot of talking now. So, yeah, thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. I'm so, so, so grateful for you guys and being so supportive of my dream and for something that I hope can really help you. Again, we're trying to get to 130 of these being sold so that we got a ways to go, but we got some time, so I'm stoked. But so that we can unlock the planners. I think I'm going to go live on TikTok. I was live on TikTok while I was struggling to get live on here. I think I'm going to go live on there really quick just to introduce like the planner and stuff because I do have a page over there. So there's that. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for the pre-order launch. It has been so much fun. Thank you. Oh, the journey's going to take me really far. I better get off now before I start crying, but thank you for being a part of this, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Share the site with your friends so that they can go and order as well. Okay, bye.